come on, I was being stupid, but this. Shut up, Nick whispered. Were you murdered here a year ago? How many of you are there? Clap to show me.
I heard a light. I smiled. The little devil knew exactly where I went. I know you're in there,
Oh.
whispered a voice. A voice I didn't recognise. My eyes watered in fear. I hope you enjoyed my little gift. I have one more though. I'd like to impart some knowledge. Your wife is coming for you. You've been warned. Welcome to episode 100.
108. No, just 100.
100.
What can you believe?
Come so far.
I know.
100. 100. 100.
100 episodes.
100.
1 0. Zeho.
Cien.
Like we're on a flight.
Oh my God.
I don't know what to say. It's so overwhelming.
BA Flight 100
Oh,
to Ghost Town.
Let's go. I'm thrilled that we're still doing this.
Still.
I don't know why I said
Still
it.
just
No, I'm ill.
cracking
I'm
on.
ill. That's why I said. I don't mean that. I have had a lot of codeine in the past week, and I think I'm going cold turkey.
You're on a come down, aren't you?
I feel like I'm on a come down.
Yeah, you're in a bit of a weird place.
Yeah. Adam
I
said to
can't
me
quite place you.
earlier. I'm in a. Why am I in a? I am in a. What?
What?
What do you mean?
Well, if someone said that you were Hannah's doppelganger, I'd believe them.
Why? What do you
I
mean?
don't know. It's just
Something off.
strange energy.
Oh no.
But it's perfect for the episode.
Oh, that doesn't.
Because I'm going to be on the edge. Because real Hannah's going to appear in 10 minutes' time and be like, sorry,
What
I'm
do you mean?
late.
I want.
All right, look.
Let's go.
All right, pet.
Get out my fucking seat, you slag.
Yeah.
To my
I'll be like,
doppelganger.
well, who's that bitch?
Well, Adam, I still have forgiven Adam for this, and just looking back, is it that big a deal? But I just got to Adam's, and I was like, I've been on a bit of a health kick, as we know, and I was like, listen, I went to McDonald's for breakfast, and all I had was a single sausage and egg McMuffin, 400 calories, and he went, that's quite a lot of calories for breakfast.
Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Thank you. So then everything he said after, I was like, I don't know, Adam, is that too many calories? Is that shit?
Oh,
And then I was like, do I look like I've lost some weight? And he was like,
Men.
yes. And I was like, just as if. He was in what world
Yeah.
was he after that going to go, no, actually, I don't know.
No.
Not really, no. No. Not really, no. But that pissed me off. And then, listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen to this. I've lost my keys, right? I've lost my keys to
And your
Adam's
mind.
flat. And my mind. Lost my keys. It's very annoying. But I said, I've lost my keys. I need to get some new ones. He went, it's so weird. I've never lost keys.
Oh God, that's not helpful, is it?
Do you know, this is why I'm in a weird mood.
Yeah.
That's the first
this
person
is
I've
why the
spoken to
doppelganger.
today.
Yeah.
And I'm being attacked.
Yeah, attacked from all
I'm like,
sides.
oh,
and now
fuck
I've
off.
attacked you, being like,
Now you've
you're in a weird
attacked
mood.
me. Now everyone's gonna get fucked. Everyone's gonna get fucked. Just seen a man at the station wearing a big puffer jacket, jeans, scarf, gloves, and Birkenstocks with no socks on. What's happening?
It's disgusting, that.
What?
Big crime.
What's your game,
I
mate?
just saw Limmy.
What?
Do you know who Limmy is?
No.
He's a very funny Glaswegian. Well, he sort of does sketches, and now he does those things where he like watches James Corden clips, and he does like a Twitch stream
Oh right.
of
Okay.
how much he hates James Corden.
Oh, I'm gonna have to Google him.
And he is so funny.
Yeah.
And I saw him walking down Longacre because I was carrying these big
Oh.
fucking balloons, and I was starstruck.
I wouldn't know him if he smacked me on the face.
Oh, I recognised him immediately. I was like, oh, it's Limmy.
Oh, no, that's not. I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Did you get a selfie?
Did I fuck? He was with his fit wife and teenager.
Oh.
hang on.
What, his teenage child?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Hang on, Hannah.
What?
Just wait.
Oh, we've got a song.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah, go on.
Guys, it's our 100th birthday. You ready for this?
Oh, the happy birthday. Okay, have you got a story for me? That, do you know what? That hit me halfway through how mental this whole thing is, how mental everything is. You know when you have an existential crisis, me and you and these little fucking hats. Oh my
It's your
Jesus Christ, that was
birthday.
funny. That was funny.
Well,
that
I'm
was very
glad
funny. I
that
enjoyed
happened.
that.
That probably means the algorithm will fuck us up on YouTube and we can't publish it. Sorry, guys.
And where did you get that from? Who sings
YouTube.
that? Right? Well, yeah, that's
The
no, that's great.
YouTube.
The YouTube.
Yes.
How have you been on the run up to our 100th episode?
Do you know what? I've been well. I got a little bit drunk on the weekend. I went to walk and I don't really remember the pad
I
time.
hate walk to walk.
Do you?
I think it's the worst
Why?
fucking thing. I think it's dry and shit.
Yeah,
For how much it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I couldn't really tell you much about it because I was quite a lot of wines in.
Oh, you went after the wines.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
I mean, you're pissed and you need some food.
Yeah, and it was like some people went casino. We went to
Casino, which one?
Casino, I don't know, some fucking casino in Leicester Square, innit?
Oh no.
Yeah, grim. But I've been well.
Yes.
Apart from the severe hangover. I mean, you've not been well, so I feel like I'm rubbing it in by saying
Not
I'm
been well at all. I've been bedridden. I'm on the way into
Ridden by
Spotify
bed.
Studios. I saw Tim. Tim's listening now. Saw Tim. I don't know if Tim knows this. It was really funny. Because Tim was like, "How are you?" I was like, "I'm fucking ill, Tim." And this man's coming to obviously record an episode, and he was like. And then I'm coughing everywhere because I just can't help it. And then I just saw him turn the corner and just get some like fucking alcohol rub out. I was like, that's not going to save you now.
I've coughed in your face, dickhead.
But I was like, I don't know what to do because I obviously need to cough. But I was like, covering my mouth and I was going to wash my hands. But I was like, I just don't know what I can do.
Yeah.
But he was like, like smothering himself in fucking alcohol rub. It was very funny. Yeah, I've just been quite ill really.
I've started sneezing like my dad.
Really?
Apparently, sneezes are
Hereditary.
yeah, or it's about your social setting. So you will take a sneeze off those around you. So you'll hear what a sneeze is from the people you spend most
Like
time with,
an
and you'll
accent.
start copy exactly.
Right.
So you probably sneeze in Stoke.
Yeah,
whatever
my
that
sneezes
accent
are
is.
usually like,
Achoo!
it's
It's you!
it's you. Yeah. It's you. Aha. Aha.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
Achoo.
That's your one.
No, I've got mine's is very like a.
Oh, are you one of the little breathers?
It's like it's like I'm yeah.
Whereas
It's like I'm scatting.
this morning I went, aha!
Oh fuck. Oh, it's cough like your dad as well. Jesus. Yeah, you do like a. Oh dear.
No, I really went loud. And then my mum was like, why did you do that? She's like,
Yeah.
why? Oh, you're sneezing like Roger.
You're pissing her off. You're doing her
Yeah,
head in.
yeah. I need
That's
to
what's I'm
move.
like. Why are you breathing?
Why are you breathing like
Why are you being a fucking?
dad?
People,
Both
when
of you
people,
are still alive.
I have got annoyed by. I have got annoyed by people's sneezes before. You know, it's loud and it makes you jump. You're like, fuck off. Fuck off.
Yeah, it does feel a bit narcissistic, but
doing?
I couldn't help it.
Oh, you can't listen. Everyone enjoys a good sneeze. There's nothing wrong. Not wrong with that.
Not wrong
Sticking
with
to me
that.
personality that Susie's given me a cast member in Coronation
Not
Street.
wrong with that.
Not wrong, but have you better don't, Bob? She's been murdered. Is that Coronation Street? Is that the theme tune? This is this is more chaotic than it usually is.
Well, it's because I look at our fucking hats.
That's that's the vibe.
I can't take you seriously, even if you told me the scariest story ever.
It's
I'd
when
be
you
like,
start. It's when you forget that you're wearing, and then you go
Yeah.
into something very.
yeah.
Yeah. What else has happened? Oh, I've just seen a man with a T-shirt on that says "There's no Planet B," while smoking a vape,
Fuck off.
and I hate. I'm in such a mood with everyone. This woman was probably walking about 12 feet behind me, and I was like, she was getting to her
Omar.
personal space.
Omar.
What?
Yeah. Did you ever used to
What's
do
that?
that?
Omar?
Omar.
What's that?
I don't know. Just a little like a mannerism I used to do back in the day.
Sounds like cultural
Omar.
appropriation.
No. Of what culture?
I don't know, but it sounds like it.
No.
Please, no, please, no one
Please.
come. Please.
I've had my fringe cut. I've
Oh,
had my
yes, it
haircut.
looks very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Fresh hair Huns.
Yeah, fresh hair. Yeah.
Fresh hair. You've gone more of a fringe. You've gone full fringe this time. I like it.
Yeah, I do.
I like it a lot.
I didn't even ask for that. No. Stunning hun, Amy.
Yeah.
Love her. Adam Alexander, go.
Yeah.
But she just did it, and actually, I'm like, it's fresh in it. It's just off the face.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Get it across.
Yes.
No little whispers.
No.
Right,
No, it's very nice.
Open up the face.
I'm wondering whether to go a bit more, whether to get some depth in my hair with a bit of chestnut, but I'm unsure. It's taking me a while. Susie's face.
Sorry? Chestnut?
Like your chestnut colour.
What, brown?
Underneath, not on top.
Brown.
But like depth. You know what I mean? Like just a different shade of blonde. Because right now, it's quite. But it has taken me a while to get here.
You're quite blocky, and I think that's quite nice.
I like
quite
that.
Modern.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
You look like a modern hun.
A modern hun. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Debuting the glasses as well.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing
they're
today.
great. This is why I probably thought you were a doppelganger. It's probably
because the glasses. Yeah, she's taking it back now.
No, it is that.
I think it was that man in his
pinpoint
Birkenstocks pissed me off, and I've just walked in and I'm like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
And then Adam and his fucking key comment, I honestly can go fuck himself.
Wow.
Yeah, no one's
Doesn't
getting
even
fingered
listen.
later, let me tell you.
You're not going to finger him later.
Well, even if I was, I won't. I'm not going to do
Shan't
that.
now.
Won't now. I've got this massive craving for like a tiger bread baguette
Glad you said
with
that.
butter and loads of wafer thin ham.
Shut up.
What?
That's literally what I had for lunch.
No.
Loads of wafer thin ham.
Yes.
Loads of butter
Yes.
and the most amazing baguette.
Shut the fuck
And
up.
I spent £10.50 on it in Chelsea.
Shut the fuck up.
And I was like, do you know what? It looks good. It's worth £10.50. And I bought it and I ate it like this.
So relevant. Do you know what? I just spent £10 on a sandwich.
I
I would.
thought mugged off, but then when I tried it,
The thing is,
it was and had jambons in it.
you with hams.
No,
That's what jambon is.
pickles.
Oh, the what they called? Oh, what they called?
It's a mixture between jambon
and pickle.
and
Jamickle. Pickle.
Jamickle.
Jamickle. Oh, what are they called? Cornichon.
Sorry?
Cornichon.
It is
Cornichon.
Cornichon, yeah.
Thank God
It's
we got
Cornichon.
there in the end.
And it was fucking fit.
That's
And they
so
didn't
good.
scrimp on the butter, so every corner.
Yes, lovely.
Oh, you were literally like teeth going into the butter.
Yes, leaving marks.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's
that you
really
frightened
weird.
my craving.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We're in sync.
Oh, I've come up with a really good idea that I'd really like
You're
us
going
to
to
do.
do another podcast if you
No.
dare.
No,
Remember,
it's yet
death
another thing.
comes your
It's
way.
yet another thing that you and I can do together.
Yay.
It's probably too much. I really would like. Do you know how people are doing those videos now? Those trendy videos.
As if I know that.
Well,
Hannah.
I need
Look
to
at
work
me.
on my social media, right? And my social media is awful. So I thought what we could do is me and you get in the car and do like car concerts and lip singing to Celine
What,
Dion.
like James Corden?
Is that what he does?
He does carpool karaoke, doesn't he?
Well,
I don't want to be anything like him, Hannah. Then
No, but
Lemmy will come for us. And
what about
I'd be so sad.
no, but it's very ironic, very eye roll, but very like like. I want it lip syncing. I don't want to actually sing
Yeah.
because I was listening to Christina Aguilera and Ricky Martin.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be lonely. That one.
Nobody's
And I
wants to
thought we
be
could do that
lonely.
in 2 parts, and we could do like a whole lip sync.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. What you mean on the reg?
Yeah,
Just go travelling
Fairly, yeah.
about.
yeah. Make it kind of
Yeah.
ghost huns, but not ghost huns.
Yeah. I'd probably need some lyrics near me because I'm not very good at.
Well, you'd have to learn them. That would be part of the job.
Oh, would it?
Mm.
Oh, it's a job.
You
then.
actually, you don't need lyrics. Whatever, just make them up in your head.
I would do that to Born This Way because that's one of my favourite
Nobody wants to
songs.
cry. Time is precious and it's slipping away, and I've been waiting for you all my life. But anyway, that's what I thought. No one's stealing our idea. TM. Thank
I
you.
think James Corden's had it already, but
No, but we're not going to actually sing. We're just going to lip sync
no.
and pretend. Right, okay. Right, I'll do it with someone else. Fine. Actually, I got more and more Liverpoolian as that one.
Fine.
What, should we pick a tarot or?
I think so.
Yeah, is it time?
I think you should because we're in sync
My
with this whole
energy.
baguette thing, isn't it?
I've got wait. I'm so excited.
For what?
Baguette.
Are you going to have one?
Yeah, look, that's my craving. I'm gonna have. I've tried. Text Adam right now and say what's Hannah got for tea. What's Hannah ordered for tea? Text him now.
Have you ordered tea
Well, I've told him to go to the shops
to buy you
to
wafer
buy me
thin
that
ham?
wafer thin ham and a tiger bread baguette.
Wow, with butter.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, there's already butter in, I suppose, but and a bit of orange juice.
Right. Well,
Anyway.
stunning.
Well,
What is
we've
it?
had this before and it's not good. It's the 5 of stars.
Oh, that's really bad.
It's a bad one.
That's the leper outside
That's
the church.
exactly how I look right now.
Which are you the hobbling leper?
Yeah,
and
the
I'm the
ill
woman
one.
in the
Yeah,
cloak.
that I'm like, can you get the balloons?
What?
That's me
Oh, I
asking
thought
you
you
if
were
you can
asking
get
me
the
to
balloons.
get. Oh, right. Right. Let's have a look at what that is.
Excuse me, I've just snorted.
That's
Sorry,
really
that was disgusting.
Okay. What is it called? The 5 of stars.
5 of stars, please.
Oh dear God.
What, is it really bad?
I mean, listen. It advises you to create contractual agreements with those around you who have similar interests.
Say that again, please.
Advises you to create contractual agreements with those around you who have similar interests. Don't you fucking dare.
Oh.
In this kind of situation,
you've said no to me.
there is
to me
strength
car
in numbers.
concerts.
Put your heads together and devise a bold plan for future objectives and decide how to invest in their success. It recommends teamwork and the mutual benefits of a combined effort that can yield.
That's
The
car
sickly
concerts.
poor freezing outside a well-lit church warns of painful outcomes of bad choices rather than focusing on the dynamic tension of the choosing itself.
Tension.
So it's saying, don't make a bad decision. Teamwork will get you there. So we can hobble along together, basically.
Yeah, that's talking about the car concerts that I want to do.
Well, is it? Or is it saying it's cold outside, get yourself a coat from Jaylee?
Oh my God, yes.
Also, if you haven't heard of Jaylee,
No fucking
Jayley.
Don't give them any. Don't
No.
give them any. Don't give them any.
Actually, don't fucking
No,
follow them.
yeah, don't. I want.
But-
Yeah, we should be
My
sponsored by them.
word. We should
They
put a
are
word in.
stunning.
It's outrageous
It's
how much I want
stunning.
every single piece.
I think I'm going to get that pink and red coat, and I'm going to get the green one.
I want the green one.
Get the green
Why
one.
don't we split the green one and split it?
Susie,
Between
you and
us.
I do not have the same body. What? And what planet?
want to
It's
split
not,
it.
it's not just under the travelling fucking coat, is it?
Yes.
No, it's...
I want it to be.
First of all, you'll see my knockers.
But I can't,
There's
I
5
can't afford
handfuls.
to get it.
You can. I know what you earn. Every time Susie says, I'm like, no, your salary, mate.
Well,
you're
I
fine.
bought a different coat.
You did buy a different coat, but I am gonna get that one because it's absolutely fucking stunning.
Okay, so guys, 100th episode. What are you expecting? Well, let me tell you, we have written
60% off that coat.
What?
60% off.
I think there's only one size in it.
What?
The green one. I've sent you the
Oh,
link.
for fuck's sake! Well, that's never gonna work, is it? I can't. 6 to 10. You outraged. Are you mad?
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
No, it says small/medium, doesn't it?
What does that mean? Yeah, 6 to 10.
Oh.
Yeah, their sizing is
Oh.
pretty shit.
Mm.
Okay, moving on. Oh God, I'm really gonna have to forget about that coat now.
I'll get it, and then you have to
I'm
forget
gonna
about it.
I'm gonna message Jaylee and be like, inclusive sizing, really bad form, guys.
Yeah.
Bad form for 6 to 10.
Is it?
6 to 10.
So,
That's small, medium.
medium isn't.
I'm
shouldn't be 10.
disgusted. I'm what's the word?
Shall I buy it, and then you can look at me wearing it?
I'm gonna what's the word?
Funny.
Gonna fucking come at them.
Come at them. Okay,
Yeah.
we've really changed our tune.
Do you have a story for me?
Well, I have 3.
Great.
You get to choose.
Oh, stunning.
Would you like 99 Problems,
I love that.
100th Birthday,
Oh.
or Hide and Seek?
Well, obviously, I'm gonna have to go 100th birthday.
100th Birthday.
Of course. Yes,
Oh,
please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
You know how the king or queen will send you a 100th anniversary message?
Yes.
Did you know some people get a second letter?
Oh.
My grandfather Leonard seemed to be waiting all his life for this. He'd grumble things like, not long now, and better hang in there, and such an honour, such an honour. I personally didn't understand the royalist appeal, but different generation and all that, I guess. Sure enough, he made it to 100 and we went to his cottage in Bledlow Ridge, a small village in High Wycombe, to celebrate. Our family is tiny. It's just me and my mum. Single parenting was all I knew, and it's all mum knew. She was brought up by Leonard and never knew her mother. All we know is that my grandma walked out and left suddenly one day, leaving Grandad to raise a little girl all by himself. They weren't exactly close, and from what I gather, Leonard was stern, cold and distant. Birthdays and fleeting Christmas visits were all we managed. The visits were neither good nor bad, just tolerable. Still, he'd made it to the ripe age of 100, and we packed up a Colin the Caterpillar, a big card, and some of Grandad's favourite cigars. I hope Charles has written, that's all I can say, my mum said grimly as we pulled into the gravel drive. We entered the cottage to find Leonard sat in his armchair, staring at the floor, holding a letter in one hand and a miniature dark marble cherub in the other, like some sort of talisman. He was mumbling something, but we couldn't make it out. Mum rolled her eyes and went to busy herself making tea and cutting the cake up. Leonard didn't even seem to clock that we'd let ourselves in. I glanced to the dark oak bureau.
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 That was like a
Bureau.
That was like a newscasting.
What do I...
They found the body in the 100-year-old bureau.
Bureau.
And
what is it?
A bureau.
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 A
Yeah.
bureau. I glanced to the dark oak bureau, and there was an open letter. I wandered over. It was from King Charles, a kind, perfunctory happy birthday, along with an official-looking royal stamp in crimson wax. Oh, Grandad, he wrote to you. You must be thrilled, I ventured. Yes. Yes, I heard him mumble. Well, what's that one in your hand, then? Did you get another birthday card? I went to take the letter from him. I noticed a seal of wax, but in dark black. And with alarming speed, Leonard yanked it away, crumpled it tight, and growled, "Do not look, stupid girl!"
Fucking hell, he sounds like a right prick. Stupid girl.
"Do not look, stupid girl!"
Fuck.
I gawped at him. I was just curious, is all.
Yeah.
Leonard shot me a look of pure disdain, and a flash of menace appeared in his milky blue eyes. He started to sing under his breath. "They say curiosity killed the cat. Well, there's a story behind that.
Why are you talking in fucking riddles, Leonard?
It's not the reason that you may think. When you hear it, your heart will sink.
What?
You look a little like her, you know."
Mm.
His face had turned into an ugly smirk, and the way he was staring at me sent a shiver down my spine. "Grandad, what are you... Should we just have some cake?" Leonard looked confused for a second. His eyes became distant and he looked once again at the floor. The crumpled letter he'd snatched from me fell at his feet. He seemed to be a million miles away. Mum bustled in and we ate the cake in near silence. I could tell Mum was itching to get away. Though it was a blustery day in late October, the room felt stifling. We sipped our tea and Leonard's eyes fluttered shut into a drowsy sleep.
Yeah, let's go.
Mum and I exchanged glances. "Did you hear that?" I whispered. "I did. It's all gobbledygook," my mum said. "Just ignore him. We'll give him his cigars when he wakes up and then we'll get out of it." I noticed Mum shudder. Never liked this place. "Look, I'll get the kitchen straightened up and get it looking a bit cleaner. I won't be long. Keep an eye on Misery Guts." She got up and left me alone again with Leonard. I studied his sleeping face. There was so much I didn't know about him. I wanted to know what the letter said, if only because his reaction to me taking it was so severe. I waited for an audible snore and I crept round his armchair. I picked up the crumpled letter, and as delicately as I could, I smoothed it out to read its contents. "Dear Leonard, I'm so pleased to learn you are celebrating your 100th birthday on the 22nd of October 2024. I send my congratulations and best wishes to you on this special occasion. Not everyone merits such a message, but you've lived a long life, and I want you to know that I've witnessed everything you've done.
Oh,
I wonder if you're proud, Leonard.
probably not.
I hope you enjoyed my little gift. But I have one more, though. I'd like to impart some knowledge. Your wife is coming for you. You've been warned.
Oh, no.
Signed, A.D. I gasped and crumpled the paper tight in my fist. My heart started thudding. Was this some sort of prank? Did my grandfather have enemies? My head spun and then I heard it. From inside the house. I spun around, searching for where it had come from. I spotted my mum through the kitchen window smoking in the back garden, so it wasn't her. Louder this time, sweat trickled down. Sweat trickled down my brow. The knocking was coming from beneath the long-defunct fireplace. I stared. I looked at Leonard. His eyes were wide open, fearful. He was staring at the floor again, exactly where the knocks had come from. Just then, the room plunged into darkness. The living room door banged shut of its own accord and the room became as cold as ice. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday Dear Lenny, happy birthday to you.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
You jumped out of your skin. A terrible scream erupted from my grandfather as I saw the shadow of a spindly young woman crawling on all fours towards us.
Fucking hell.
She shuffled at speed, limping because one hand held a bunch of papers. The fireplace erupted into large, angry flames, and the woman, covered head to toe in dirt and soot, grabbed my grandfather by his throat. Come with me, Lenny. Aren't you curious where I've been? The woman thrust the papers into my hands as the flames licked from the fireplace across the living room. The curtains caught, then the sofa, then the entire carpet was being engulfed. My mother was shrieking. She grabbed me and we ran from the room and out into the cold afternoon air. We were gasping for air and hurling ourselves into the car, and we sped off as the cottage burnt. We drove in stunned silence. I noticed Mum was crying. It was her. It was definitely her. Who? I asked, although I feared I knew the answer. What do those papers say, darling? I didn't realise I was grasping them tightly to my chest. My hands had almost gone numb. I was gripping them so tight. I unfurled them. Newspaper clippings. Search for High Wycombe murderer reaches final phase. Disappearance of missing Maud Franklin remains unsolved. Body of yet another nurse found in Shardlow's Lake. So it went on.
Leonard's a fucking murderer.
Old clippings of unsolved murders from the 1960s. A potential local suspect believed to be a middle-aged man. Pen marks, notes in the margin, a photo. Maud Franklin, beaming at the camera, wearing a beautiful wedding dress, arm in arm with my grandfather, Leonard. The same young woman who crawled through the living room at us. I started sobbing. It was my grandmother, Maud. She'd been curious and she'd paid the price. We drove on, not saying a thing. I thought about the letter, though, with the black wax seal, signed A.D. I thought about the gift that they'd mentioned. And then I thought of Leonard, grasping that strange, dark cherub in his hand. The little angel. The little angel of death. A.D.
Very good.
The end.
Very good.
A.D.
That's because he's a bastard, so he gets another letter and a big haunting.
Exactly.
Love
Yeah,
that.
so only bad people, when you turn 100, will get the Grim Reaper, i.e. Angel
right.
of Death.
Yes.
Going, oh, by the way,
You're getting a visit.
You're getting your comeuppance.
Yeah.
By the demons of whatever you've done.
Wow, that's
It's
very
a bit
good.
tenuous, but...
No, I like it.
Yeah.
And that's not as tenuous as mine, so enjoy that.
Hey! Let's go.
Would you like a story?
Mhm.
This one, everybody, please do enjoy it. But do also know that I haven't read it back, and I was in the deep codeine delirium whilst I did it. Come on, slowpoke, Cameron shouted to Nick. If you don't hurry up, I'm going to have to find myself a new husband. We've been married for less than 6 months, Nick panted back. I thought it would take at least a year for you to find out that I actually fucking hate hiking. Nick bent over at the top of the hill, attempting to get his breath back. Cameron laughed. Even though you lied, I still love you. Cameron bent down and shoved a fist into his hand. Oh, it's straight into fisting. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Cameron laughed. Even though you lied, I still love you. He bent down to kiss Nick's butthole. He bent down.
Have you written just a gay
I've written gay porn. Although I haven't, but maybe that's a route I'll go down one day.
I've done a similar thing.
What, gay porn?
Yeah.
You've done gay porn.
Well. You wait.
Oh,
wow,
that's exciting.
We're so
That is weird that we're so synced. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cameron bent down to kiss Nick on the head. Cameron took Nick's hand and off they walked together into the sunset. This sounds like the end of a story, doesn't it? But this one is just beginning. It was Cameron's 39th birthday.
Cute.
There's your connection. However, Nick was a true crime podcaster, and obviously, as he was self-employed, had to mix in a little business with their pleasure. As Cameron loved hiking so much, he didn't mind he had to celebrate his birthday. He didn't mind that he had to celebrate his birthday hiking. The plan was to climb the Ostrich Mountains in search of Nick's current podcast topic. Thank God.
Ostrich, have you made that up?
Made it up, yeah. Is that
Ostrich
obvious?
Mountains.
I was like, what can I fucking call them? Nick may hate hiking, but his work was everything. As the night got darker, Cameron ended up taking the natural lead again while Nick was picking up the rear. That was not intentional. That was an accident. But yes,
Sure thing,
that did
Cam,
allude to
sure
anal.
can.
I can't believe you're making me search for a murderer on my bloody birthday, Cameron teased. I should never have gone out with a podcast if they picked the worst dates. I can completely attest to
Wow.
that, yeah. Oh, you enjoying yourself there? Great, Suze's just having a fucking yawn. Nick's podcast has been going on for a good 5 years, but things have gotten stale. What? What?
Sorry, go back.
Nick's podcast has been going on for a good 5 years. Oh, is that funny? But things had gotten stale. Cameron had seen it. Cameron had seen it firsthand. Nick had become frustrated and found it difficult to enjoy the job he'd once loved. The cases were boring him now, each one too similar to the last. Until this one, that is. Cameron, seeing how unfulfilled Nick was, told him about the Ostrich Mountain murders.
Ostrich Mountain.
The first murders happened 1 year ago. 3 women had been camping up on Ostrich. You know, the well-known mountain.
I'm just going camping Ostrich.
3 women had been camping up on Ostrich and they'd never been seen again. A search party hunted for them for weeks until they eventually found them. Buried vertically
Oh.
in the soft soil of the sloping mountains, their hands raised in front of them, almost like they were in the middle of a round of applause, except their hands were missing leaves.
You've lost your fucking
That's
mind.
honestly, I'm deluded with codeine. Okay. Their hands raised in front of them almost like they were in the middle of a round of applause, except their hands were missing, leaving only bloody stumps at the end of their arms. But even stranger, the cause of death was never discovered. As far as anyone could tell, they had no idea how these women had died.
Leaving
Theories.
out their stumps.
Well, maybe not.
Oh.
I mean, I suppose you probably would, actually, yeah. Theories were flying everywhere. Questions went unanswered. How did they die? How did someone manage to bury these women vertically? How many murders were there? It was all so strange, but not as strange as people have since reported. Because lone hikers have said that when they pass that very spot that the 3 women were found, they hear noises like clapping. Just people having sex in the bush.
Oh no.
No, that's not true. People have said that none of this is true. None of this is true.
None of it's true.
None of this
nothing's real.
podcast is fucking real. People have said that they've asked questions and the claps have answered. 1 clap for no, 2 for yes, etc., etc. The people who believe these tales also believe that it's the women using the thing that was taken from them to try and communicate with the living. Cameron thought this was the perfect thing to get Nick out of his slump. Why sit around waiting for the information to come to him when he could get out there and find these things out himself? Nick was excited about it too. He was finally feeling like he was getting his teeth stuck into a case again, and this one was a doozy. I just wrote, particularly a year, and ended that.
Particularly a yurt.
Yeah. So here they were, deep in the forest of the Ostrich Mountains, ready to commune with the dead and find out who was responsible. It was starting to make Nick feel uncomfortable as he walked behind Cameron. He wanted to make the atmosphere a little lighter. Thinking about dead people all the time could really take its toll on you. I can't believe you're going to be 39 tomorrow. You're such an old fart, Nick teased. Cameron raised an eyebrow and turned around to look at him and smiled. You're only a couple of years behind me, you know. Cameron's blonde hair fell over his eye. It was all very Leonardo DiCaprio and Titanic vibes. For that, you vile bitch, you'd better have gotten me a spectacular gift. Excuse me? Nick was outraged. Have I ever let you down before? Last year's gift was stunning. Cameron let out a snort. Darling, it's time to admit it. I hated that gift.
Darling, it's what?
Darling, it's time to admit it. I hated that gift.
Oh.
Nick stopped in his tracks. What? I thought you were obsessed with it, that lovely gold brooch. Is that why I haven't seen you wearing it? Yes, my love. Oh, I'm sorry, but a gold brooch with the word slag adorning the face of it isn't really my
I'd
cup
love
of
that.
tea. Me too. As well, I was like,
You've just
that's what
written
I
your
want.
perfect present.
My perfect piece of jewellery. Nick stuck out his lips sulkily. I thought it was fun, he said. Oh, my love. Cameron's...
His lips. He stuck out his lips.
I can't tell you. I'll go for a nap after this and I'll forget that this has ever happened. I feel so out of it. Nick stuck out his lips sulkily. I thought it was fun, he said. Oh, my love. Cameron slung an arm around Nick's shoulders. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Nick agreed. Nick and Cameron got ready to bed down for the first night. They pitched up their tent in no time and they were staring up at the stars soon enough. Nick pulled a bottle of champagne from his bag. To toast your ever-descending ballsack, he said to Cameron. Nick popped the cork and it flew off into the night. Nick was disappointed. He'd read all about how sea life can die from small bits of litter being abandoned, only to be swept out to sea and choked on by baby turtles. He'd find it in the morning, he decided, when he could see properly. Now, that bit did originally have a point. I forgot to take it out, so that's just
What do you mean a point?
Well, there was kind of a little point to it.
Like an environmental impact point.
No, it's turned into that now.
You just wanted to preach.
Oh, no, my friend Stephen has told me about the turtles, and I actually do feel really bad. He filled up.
Please say that with more conviction. No, my mate told me about turtles. To be fair, it's pretty bad.
I feel really bad. Oh, he filled up his and Cameron's plastic
turtles.
cups. I know, they're the best.
Yeah,
I love turtles. Turtles and
costs.
frogs. I love frogs.
I love beavers.
No, I love turtles, frogs, and snails.
Ooh, I'm going to see beavers this weekend.
Oh, are you? Is that what you're doing this weekend?
Yes,
That's
my
nice.
birthday present.
You sounded like such an uppity 4-year-old. I'm going to see beavers this weekend.
Yes, I can't wait.
If you were an actual child, I'd be like, someone fucking stamp on her head.
No.
Someone sex traffic her, please, for God's sake.
You couldn't possibly, because I'm wearing a hat.
Oh, God. That's so... I'm going to see beavers this weekend. I'm going to see beavers this weekend.
I'm that excited.
That was so funny. Oh, that does sound exciting. If someone were to say, I was going to spend the weekend looking at snails, I'd feel the same way. He filled up his and Cameron's plastic cups with Moe and they clinked their glasses together.
Ooh,
Right, Cameron said, rubbing his hands together. I think it's high time we tried communing with the dead, don't you? They set up Nick's camera on the tripod and attached the mics. They were ready to go. Nick put his cup down shakily. I don't even know where to start, he said. Well, Cameron said, all those accounts from people said they just started talking into the night and they got a response. Okay, Nick said, you start. You bloody start, Cameron said. It's your podcast, isn't it? Fine, Nick said. Hello! Is anybody out there?
Oh.
Can anybody hear me? That's how Titanic, isn't it? Silence. Hello? And then Nick and Cameron stared at each other. What the fuck? Cam said and stood up. Nick spoke again. Are you a woman? Clap once for no, twice for yes. Fuck, Nick breathed. Cam snorted. It's someone out there fucking with us, obviously. You don't really believe this, do you? Shh, Nick spat. Are you the one that was murdered here a year ago? Come on, I was being stupid, but this... Shut up, Nick whispered. Were you murdered here a year ago? How many of you are there? Clap to show me. Trois.
Tres.
Who did this to all of you? Nick shouted. The clapping continued.
Steve! Like Morse.
The clap of the fucking loads of people who were dead, basically, right? Who did this to you? Nick shouted. It's yes or no question, stupid, Cameron said. All of a sudden, something smacked Nick in the head. Smack! It was like someone had thrown a rocket in. What the fuck was that? Nick bent down to see if he could find out what it was, and then he saw something glinting in the moonlight, which he hadn't seen before. He picked it up. A brooch.
Slag.
A gold brooch. Slag. Nick's eyebrows knitted together. It was the same one he'd bought Cam for his birthday, the same one he hadn't seen for almost a year. How had it ended up here?
Oh no!
Cameron looked over. Ah, he said. That's unfortunate. What? Nick said. Cameron threw his hands up and laughed. The chigger's up, I suppose. Sorry, Nick. You never should have found out. I loved you, you know. I really, really did. What are you talking about? Nick said, although he could make a good guess. You were floundering, Cameron screamed. This stupid fucking podcast, you just had to do it, didn't you? It wasn't making us any fucking money and it was you just fanning around with a microphone all week. Living the dream, weren't you? Well, you know what? You didn't make it successful, so I bloody had to. I killed those people I killed those people to make your business worthwhile. I did it for us. I even made it look interesting. All that burying them vertically bullshit, hands cut off, what a load of faff that was. Do you know what it's like having to figure out where to dispose of 20 hands?
Absolute psychopath.
I absolutely lolled at that bit. I was like, oh, that's really funny. Oh.
Help.
But what a great angle for the podcast. Nick couldn't speak. He was so in shock. And now, Cameron said as he pulled out some disposable gloves from his back pocket and snapped them on his hands, you'll just have to become another episode in someone else's podcast.
Fuck, I'm worried about this is like some flash forward hint of what you're like. I feel like you've murdered 10 hands.
Just don't question me on anything. I murdered 10 hands. Oh, yeah, because 10 people died. That was the number we got to eventually. That's particularly important. 10 people died. He's killed 10 people. So now we had to get rid of 20 hands. Yeah. The next day, the police got a call from a Cameron Lovett whose boyfriend had gone up to Ostrich Mountains alone in search of a serial killer but never returned home. The police found his body buried in a vertical grave with his hands cut off weeks later, and legend has it, if you go to the Ostrich Mountains and ask some questions, 11 sets of hands clap back.
Whoa,
the end.
Really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hannah, I've got 2 more stories.
Hit me.
That are themed for our 100th birthday. Would you like 99 Problems or Hide and Seek?
99 Problems, please.
You know that song that goes, if you're having got problems, I feel bad for you, son.
I do.
I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Yes, I do.
Well, I wanted to write this because I do have 99 problems, and let me tell you, a bitch is one.
Right.
I lost count around my 21st birthday. Things never went right for me. I was picked on in school. Too tall, too lanky, too nerdy, too me, basically. Is there a banana peel around? Pass it here, I'll slip on it. Even my name wasn't good enough. My folks called me Ender. It's Turkish in origin, but my bullies never left me any time to explain that. I digress. My woman problems. See, I knew from a young age I was hopeless at romance, but in my heart I always wanted to find love. School taught me very few things apart from these facts. I was ugly and unlovable.
Aw, that's sad.
University offered me respite to hide, wallow in self-pity, and I did a degree with other young guys who seemed in a similar predicament to me. When I graduated, I took a job at Mister Waffle.
Oh.
I just wanted a mundane job so I could take a bit of time to decide what to do next. Our boss was a stern, miserable woman called Alexandra.
Oh. Russian.
She took more She took more cigarette breaks than customers ordered waffles. She took an immediate dislike to me, and it seemed I could never pull the batter right. Due to self-esteem being on the floor, I accepted this. The waffles I made did look sort of weird. Then one day, George walked in. He almost waltzed through the pokey diner, plonked himself down on a red plastic bench, and I was told to interview him. Sandra, as she uncharmingly insisted we called her, said she had business to do. My stomach lurched. George smiled at me, and I noticed his perfect white teeth and dazzling light green eyes. His mop of blonde hair was pushed lazily to one side, and he said, "Well, waffle me first, and then we can chat."
Waffle me first?
I looked around for Sandra's go-ahead, but it was just the 2 of us. "Yeah, okay," I stuttered. "I'll probably be learning from you anyway when you give me the job. So we may as well start now," George said, in a way that made my skin burn hot. He got up from the bench and walked to the waffle griddle and handed... He got up from the bench and walked to the waffle griddle.
What's happening? The waffle griddle.
He got up from the bench and walked to the waffle griddle and handed me the ladle. I followed him, my mouth slightly open in awe. His confidence, his energy, his playful smile. For the first time in what felt like years, I smiled too. I'm not very good at this, but I'll give it a go. My hand was shaking and George stood behind me, but a little to my right side.
Oh, this is like the ghost.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Little...
my love.
But a little to my right so he could see what I was doing. He reached round and steadied my hand. I managed to pour the batter as evenly as I could and then softly closed the griddle lid.
What, lad?
You can probably guess. I insisted Alexandra give him the job. Yeah. To this day, I'll never know why George chose to bestow his attentions on me, but he did. We were inseparable. I was happier than I'd been in, well, I couldn't remember. We laughed, we stole kisses when the diner was empty, and yes, of course, we made each other waffles, and I felt utterly and completely head over heels in love.
I just wouldn't think I'd fancy waffles when you're working in a Mister Waffle.
Yeah, but if it's with your lover.
Oh, yeah, that's
everything
true,
tastes delicious.
Yeah.
He would tell me one day, He would tell me one day he'd be boss of the place and it would just be the two of us. No more Alexandra sneering and chiding us. I think she sensed the connection we had and she loathed us for it. He was my perfect secret, and after every shift I'd almost float to my small flat share and wonder if I hadn't made the whole thing up.
Yeah.
One day, George didn't show up for work. Alexandra seemed unbothered. "You work triple shift,"
Aw.
she said in a monotone Russian lilt. I didn't have George's number. I didn't know where he lived. All I knew is that he was the most beautiful man on earth. I started to worry something bad had happened. For the next week, he still didn't show up. I pressed Alexandra for details. Did he send a CV? Did he email her? What was his number? She'd swear under her breath and ignore me. Finally, one grey, drizzly morning, she noticed me staring out of the window. "I find him stealing money from cash till. And now he is not here."
Red flag.
Very crafty man. In Russia, we call them Byesi.
I love that you've described her as having a lilt. She's literally the most Russian
Very
woman
Russian.
I've ever heard.
She's very Russian.
It's the most Russian lilt.
In Russia, we call them Byesi, demons. My mind reeled. I felt bereft. I don't know how I got through the following weeks. I felt like I dreamt George up, and sometimes I believed he was just a figment of my lonely imagination. Then one night, I was about to start looking up. Alexandra had left hours ago. I switched all the lights off, and then I heard the diner door swing open. "We're closed, I'm afraid," I called into the key drawer without looking up. A voice I recognised said, "Waffle for the road?" George, it was him. The street lamp from outside shone in the dark diner, and there was no mistaking his silhouette. "Where have you been? I was so worried." I hurried to him. He looked worried, nervous, and thinner than before.
Blue-balled me, George.
What?
Blue-balled.
What does that mean?
Like massive tease.
Really? I've never heard that expression in my life.
Yeah, it's like if you're it's blue-balled.
Okay. If you keep saying it.
No, like if you're teasing a man or a person who has bollocks,
Yeah.
for example, you're like teasing them, but you don't go ahead with full orgasm. So them
Cock
not.
tease.
Yeah, so it's like you've got blue balls
Why are they blue?
because it's almost like they're being strangled with the amount of sperm that's in there. That's it. Don't know if that's true, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
Okay.
it's just like you're just like, oh,
You led me on.
I have to get my thing out. You know what I mean? You have to finish me off.
This is not the vibe. Oh,
What?
fuck.
Blue balls.
They must be like, what the fuck is happening
This is
there?
not the vibe.
Okay.
Like blueberries on a waffle. Very
Blue
relevant.
waffle.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Where have you been? I was so worried. I hurried to him. He looked worried and nervous. "Alexandra," he whispered. "She's dangerous." "What's going on, George? You're scaring me." "No, I got sick, really sick. I think she poisoned a waffle that I ate. Said I was meddling in her accounts. You know I wouldn't meddle, don't you, Ender? I'm a good guy. You know that." He grabbed my hand, and I felt smooth, cold glass press into my palm. I squinted down. A tiny potion bottle. "What's this?" "For the waffle that Alexandra will have for breakfast." He leant in close and whispered, "You'll put blueberries, white chocolate, and strawberry drizzle all over, and she won't be able to resist."
Like I've just said.
Yes.
Blue bollocks.
I got shivers. Before I could protest, George kissed me, hurried out into the night, and I knew I'd be making Sandra breakfast.
Wow.
Morning rolled round, and I did as George says. And I did as George said. I'd do anything he said. I poured the vial into the batter and made a waffle to die for.
We've all been there.
Alexandra arrived late and ate it greedily. My heart skipped a beat when she started heaving, retching and convulsing. She caught my eye and made the sign of the cross. I waited patiently. She finally went quiet. My hands shook and I dragged her corpse into the back room.
Oh, fucking hell, that was fast.
Months have gone
So,
by.
hang on, she just started choking and she's like...
Yeah, she went like that.
Oh, like that.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
yeah. Months have gone by and now I run Mister Waffle.
Oh.
Sometimes George helps me out. Sometimes he whispers terrible things in my ear.
Right.
There's a new lad working part-time and I don't think George likes him. He tells me to stop flirting with him or he'll go the same way as Alexandra. And I know I must do what he says. Sometimes after we kiss, I see his beautiful green eyes flash a dark shade of red. Sometimes it's better the devil, you know.
Wow. Fucking hell.
Yes.
That is such a good statement on how love can truly make you drunk.
Isn't it?
It can
It will let you poison your boss.
Yeah, I mean, she sounded like a bit of a bellend.
She was probably a bit of a homophobe and
Yeah.
a bad boss.
Well, she sounded like she saw this relationship going on and was like, no, none of this.
Yeah, she didn't want it.
And there isn't a space for homophobes in this world.
No, Alexandra, you had to meet that end.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Russia as well is a very sensitive point.
But she did call it. She's like, Byesi.
Busy.
Yeah, or Bies.
Yeah.
Bies is singular for demon, and Byesi is demons.
Right, because that's how plural works.
Demons.
That was very good.
Thank you.
I'm now in the mood for a waffle.
Yeah, innit?
Absolutely stunning.
White chocolate drizz.
That sounds disgusting. We've had some submissions for the final of them all.
Oh yes,
Because as we all know, we fucking hated that. And we've had, do you know what? I've been so impressed. We've had people, one of them I really enjoyed was, we've all had enough. Everyone died, the end. Really enjoyed that. But you won't get a free t-shirt with those kind of comments. So I have decided on a winner. And you'll find out why I've chosen this one as a winner. But do you know what? She really knows us and has focused in on who we are and what we like, and that is she's named characters in the story after us. So that is something that I respond.
That really plays to our narcissism.
I respond, yeah. As soon as somebody's like, and I believe my character's called Lady Hannah, and I was like, yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yours is Goblin.
Is it actually? Imagine it was, because you know who we call someone Goblin.
Oh, we have called someone Goblin.
Yeah, but I know. Do you know who?
Do you know what? Listen, right, we're not horrible bitches, but this person
is a fucking
a fucking goblin. And maybe what we should do is, oh no, I'm not going to talk about that now because, oh God, we've really gone off piece, haven't we? Okay, here we are, back in.
Yeah.
So the haunted mall. Can we all remember what happened in the mall story? So there was a guy in a mall, things were happening, statues were moving around, and then he ended up going to this group of people, ghost hunters. It was all a bit weird. It was all a bit like AA, but for ghost hunting.
Yeah, there was Santa. There was a siren from the sea.
Exactly, yeah. And then there was like that woman he fancies and all that stuff. And it was called the Drunken Bard.
Oh,
that was the pub that they were in. So I've chosen the winner is Saoirse.
Saoirse. Oh, Saoirse.
Saoirse from Ireland, I believe.
Oh, well, no. Well, we can't appropriate them anymore.
Can we not?
No.
Is that not where that name's from?
No, it is, yeah, for like Saoirse Ronan, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you were like, oh, I can't think of
No,
it.
I'm just teasing.
If you were like, oh, where's Susie from? I'd be like, England.
Greece.
Obviously.
And Egypt. Moving on. Go on then. What has Saoirse got to say?
You can't make me laugh today, I'm afraid. Okay. If you need to remind yourselves of what happened, please do go back to the previous episodes, which
no, you've kind of described it. The mall has some mannequin dummies.
It does.
And there's a man who's a security guard, and he's wondering what's going on there.
Exactly. We sat in a circle in the back room of the Drunken Bard and discussed our plan. The donuts and lukewarm coffee ignored as we excitedly detailed how the next evening would play out. I'd love a coffee. Jenna sat back in a chair, her dark hair obscuring half of her face. She alone seemed reluctant to get her hopes up that we might be onto something. Who are these people? She asked, barely hiding the scorn in her voice. Where did you find them? Luke took a large swig from his sweaty hip flask. That's disgusting. Yeah. Before answering, wiping his mouth on his tracksuit sleeve. Friends are friends, he winked at Jenna conspiratorially. Best of the best. Okay, said Jorge, eager to keep the meeting on track. So they'll meet us at 9 p.m. by the J.C. Penney loading bay. That's Ireland.
No.
Pennies.
J.C. Penney's America.
How is it? Oh, fuck.
Fuck him, did you say?
Fuck him. No, I didn't. No, I went, oh, fuck, and then I started coughing.
Fuck him.
We can show them around, see what they think, and take it from there. He stood up, brushed the crumbs off his pants. It's American. And looked around the circle. Get a good night's sleep, everyone. We're going to need it. Slowly, Susan, Mark, and Jenna headed out into the cool evening. I hung back with Luke and Jorge. Do you guys think this'll really work? I asked. It's worth trying, isn't it? We will all go mad if things keep happening like this, replied Jorge, looking at Luke. Look at her look. It's funny. I mean, they've done this before, haven't they, Luke? Luke, who'd just bitten into a donut, gave us a huge donut-filled smile and a double thumbs up. As I headed to my car, collar up against the drizzle that had started to fall, I had to wonder if it wouldn't just be easier to get another job. I think it would be.
Yeah.
At this point, like, why? Are you getting paid for this?
Yeah. Well, the curiosity would.
Are you going to get your expenses covered? Probably not. The next night, we all gathered by the loading bay double doors. Jorge paced up and down, nervously checking his watch. Then the empty car lot that stretched before us. After a stiflingly humid day, large storm clouds had gathered and the almost unbearable air pressure was putting everyone on edge. Susan pulled a cardigan around her body despite the heat. Her face looked drawn and there were bags under her eyes. She caught me staring, and before I could look away, she gave me a wan smile. One or Wayne? I think one is
Wan.
W-A-N, isn't
Wan.
it?
Gok Wan.
Gok, what, for W-A-N-E? I thought Wayne was a bit more like knackers.
I don't think. I know it's Wan, isn't it?
Wan is sexy.
Is
One's
it?
like, yeah.
No.
Gave her a wan smile is sexy.
Hang on.
It's like give you a little, like one of them.
A wan smile is a smile that conveys a look of paleness, tiredness, or weakness.
W-A-N-E.
Hang on, let's look at Wayne. Wayne smile. It's not a thing.
What? Okay. Well,
I think it's a typo.
What's the sexy smile?
I think it's a wry smile.
Yeah,
no,
right.
one like or like. Ooh.
There's no such thing as Wayne.
They're right. I'm not moving on until I fucking prove this. It's not. It's certainly not W-A-N.
It's Wan.
Sexy smile.
You
Tim,
can type
please
in
help
sexy
me.
smile, but
Tim,
that's not going
help
to show
me.
you Wayne, is it?
Sexy. Oh no, that was really bad. Sexy smile. Descriptive word. Tim, help me, please. It's sexy. Please, Tim, please.
No.
Please.
Please, it's
You
sexy.
gotta help me, please. I can't be. I know this. I know that it's like a one is like. Oh.
No,
It's all
you're getting mixed up
saucy.
with rye.
No, I'm not. It's definitely not rye. Okay, Tim, you
Should
carry on
we
doing
carry
that.
on,
Carry
though?
on. Yeah, Tim just has to carry on looking for that. Okay, fine.
Go on.
I could hear that weird whispering all day in the shop, she shuddered. If this doesn't work, I don't think I'll be able to go back tomorrow. I feel like I can almost understand them if I just listen hard enough. I was concentrating so hard it took me almost 5 minutes to realise Mrs. Mulrooney had come in for a 4 p.m. massage today. She thought I was having a fit. Her head dropped. She looked utterly spent. Unsure what to say, I patted her shoulder awkwardly. Mark was sitting on an upturned bucket smoking. His bearded face glowed green under the illuminated exit sign above him. He didn't say anything, but with the ferocity with which he spoke volumes. Jenna stood beside him, absent-mindedly twirling her hair around her fingers with mechanical repetition. She looked over at me and raised her eyebrows, rolling her eyes as if this were all ridiculous. But her fingers kept twisting and twisting. But her fingers kept twisting and twisting like they had a mind of her own. Only Luke seemed unperturbed. He was humming and bouncing on his toes as though he were about to get on a roller coaster, not perform an exorcism. "They're here!" Jorge shouted, making everyone jump, and we all watched as a big black Cadillac slowly drove towards us, coming to a halt under the only lit street light in the whole parking lot. The driver door opened, and a tall, broad man in a tight chauffeur uniform stepped out. He was wearing sunglasses, despite the almost complete darkness. He walked around the car without acknowledging any of us and opened the back door. A young woman in black jeans, sneakers and a short leather jacket got out. She looked over at us, smiled and waved, her golden red hair shining under the lamplight, her fringe falling ever so slightly in front of her eyes. I had to admit she was not what I was expecting at all. She was too young, too pretty, too bubbly. Then a second figure emerged from the vehicle, and I immediately took everything back. She was exactly what I thought an exorcist should look like. Tall, covered from head to toe in dark flowing robes and wearing so many gold necklaces and bracelets that she looked like a wind chime in the breeze. Sounds like me. She looked like a wind chime in the breeze. Oh, both of us, actually.
Yeah.
Even more strikingly, she wore a black veil that completely hid her face. In fact, the only part of her body that could be seen were her hands. That sported long, elegant fingernails painted the colour of the storm clouds overhead. Oh, beautiful descriptive words.
Oh, this is
Sorry,
actually
Chef.
very beautifully written.
It is. Jorge ran over to them, like he was meeting royalty. "You must be Susan." "Here we go," he said, shaking the young woman's hand. "Call me Susie, please," she responded, flashing him a smile. "And you are Lady Hannah. Stunning!"
So you're the tall exorcist, and I'm the golden head.
You're the
sneakers.
redhead. Yeah, the redhead, pretty bubbly one.
Love
Oh,
that.
great. I'm just a fucking hag.
Loving the story so far.
I can't laugh or be annoyed. And anyway, I can't believe I'm a hag. I really missed on this. I haven't done this before.
You deserve 3 t-shirts.
Should have read this properly. She didn't respond. She just very slowly nodded her head. So Lady Hannah won't directly commune with you, explained Susie. It messes with her spiritual connections. Behind me, I heard Jenna scoff and quickly cover it up with a cough. Let's get going, exclaimed Luke, barely able to contain his excitement. Just as the entourage started towards the door, the storm clouds opened. Lightning flashed, giving the momentary illusion of daylight before plunging us all back into darkness. A violent wind whipped up out of nowhere, clawing at our clothes as if hundreds of tiny hands were trying to pull us away from the building. We stumbled inside and slammed the doors as the wind howled like a pack of wild dogs at an abandoned castle. What? There's no castle. I don't know why I said that.
Oh.
We stumbled inside and slammed the doors as the wind howled like a pack of wild dogs abandoned outside.
Oh.
Lady Hannah and Susie, accompanied by Jorge and Luke as tour guides, walked all 3 floors of the mall, stopping whenever Hannah raised her hand. The rest of us hung back, unsure what our part in this was supposed to be. As we passed the arcade, which was thankfully dark, Hannah paused, then turned her veiled face towards me. No one said anything for what seemed like an age, until she glided onwards. What was that about? Jenna whispered in my ear. I've no idea, I lied, feeling the quarter in my pocket. Oh, do you remember? I forgot about this. There was the quarter, there was a boy at the arcade games.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he's got the quarter he was using.
Oh.
In the end, it was decided that we would perform the ritual beside the fountain with the silver statues. I knew every person here hated this idea as much as I did, but this is what we had signed up for, wasn't it? Wordlessly, Susie placed candles all around the fountain's edge as Lady Hannah stood unmoving, arms outstretched. The water burbled innocuously as the silver statues gleamed in the candlelight. Above us, the domed glass ceiling showcased the storm that raged outside. Every now and again, we could feel the reverberations from the thunder, and the air felt charged with electricity. I tried to tell myself that I was sweating from the heat, but I knew it was a lie. Right, said Susie, once she had finished setting up. We're all going to stand in a circle around the fountain, holding hands. Under no circumstances are you to break the circle. That's really important, okay?
Yeah, listen to Susie.
Yeah, no matter what you... Basically, I'm this Lady Hannah, and you're my slave.
Slave?
Yeah, the slave?
You're my slave. And I'm like the officious PA.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys,
will you
guys,
fucking chill out, please?
Please.
Please.
Hold hands.
Please.
I've told you the rules.
That Lady Hannah will murder.
Yeah, she'll
Love that.
Yeah.
We all nodded gravely and took our positions. I stood between Janet and Mark. Opposite me, Jorge held hands with Susie and Luke, who grinned like the Cheshire Cat as he took Lady Hannah's hand. Susan took the other hand and completed the circle with Jenna. The atmosphere was tense. My hand felt sweaty in Jenna's, and I almost pulled away to wipe it when I remembered the rule. I mustn't break the circle.
Don't do that.
Lady Hannah suddenly began to chant, a low, eerie musical sound. We all stared at her transfixed. Her body seemed to vibrate with power as her voice grew louder. One by one, the lights in the atrium went out, until the only illumination came from the candles. At first, no one noticed the statues, until Mark gasped. They're moving, he croaked, his voice hoarse with fear. His hand gripped mine like a vice. Shh! Whispered Susie. Don't move, don't break the circle.
Break the circle. I told you once already, you stupid prick.
We watched as the silver statues jerked their heads towards Lady Hannah, so that some of them were now looking over their backs at her. I shuddered. Was this really happening? Slowly, almost imperceptibly, they began to melt into water and the liquid silver pooling together in the middle. Were they going? Was it over already? The silver pool floated in front of Susan and began to bubble. She looked nervously over at Susie. Susan and Susie, two different people?
Yeah, boy.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. She looked nervously over at Susie, who silently... Should I just say that like I was having a stroke?
Yeah.
Susie.
Just want too many cocodamals.
She looked... That's 100% accurate. She looked nervously over at Susie, who silently mouthed, "It's okay, just don't let go." The bubbles got larger and larger and started to take shape. Human shape. A small, elderly Chinese woman appeared in the water holding a framed photograph of a child. She was sobbing and holding the picture to her chest. Susan screamed. The elderly woman didn't react, her silver tears streaming down her face as she sobbed phrases I didn't understand in Mandarin. Susan struggled to get... Oh, I really hope this lady hasn't written Mandarin for me.
Yeah. And go.
Ah!
Accent at the ready.
Oh, no, thank you. Susan struggled to get to her, but Jenna and Lady Hannah held her back. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, Susan wept. I didn't know how to tell you I was leaving. I should have left you a note. I should have called. I was stupid. I'm sorry. We all looked on in horror as the old woman broke the glass in the frame and slashed it across her own wrist. Silver blood spurted across Susan as she screamed, "No!" Then the silver melted again. Susan's head dropped. She looked even paler than before. I think Susan's fucking dead. Terrified, I watched as the pool glided over to Mark. I felt him stiffen beside me. I held his hand tighter, hoping it would convey some small comfort. But the silver bubbled again, forming the figure of a smart young woman in a navy uniform. Seaweed clung to his legs and torso. A young man, sorry, not woman.
Yeah.
Seaweed clung to his legs and torso, and eels wound around his head and neck. His eyes were empty sockets. He reached his arms out towards Mark as invisible forces began to pull him back underwater. "Help me!" The words bubbled from between his cracked lips. "Help me!" It took all my strength not to let Mark pull away. I looked at his creased face as he sobbed. "I'm so sorry, Wallace. I tried to save you. I really did. I'm so sorry." The silver slid through the water until it was in front of Jenna. She screwed her eyes shut. "Please, no. Please, no," she whispered. This time the bubbles formed a handsome teenage boy. He looked around, confused. "Where am I, Jenna?" he pleaded, his voice ringing with a metallic twang. You left me in here. It's dark. I want to go home. I want to see Riley. Jenna, open the door." Jenna fell to her knees, her whole body shook with racking sobs, but she did not let go of her hands. Getting emotional. This time the silver made a beeline for Jorge. He turned his head as far as he could to the right, trying not to look at it. A young girl emerged from the pool. She looked familiar, but I had no idea where I'd seen her before. Jorge gasped, "Amanda!"
Sorry. Just seen your hat again.
Completely forgot I had it on. Oh,
It's
why did I
because-
choose
it's
today?
because the orange bobble is coming at me. And
Why did I choose today to debut my classes on the set? I can't. This isn't going to have the same effect,
no,
is
it
it?
is not. No.
Jesus. This time the silver made a beeline for Jorge. He turned his head as far as he could to the right, trying not to look at it. A young girl emerged from the pool. She looked familiar, but I had no idea where I'd seen her before. Jorge gasped, "Amanda!" And then it hit me. Amanda, the girl from the now deleted YouTube video, the ghost hunter who broke in, the one who then couldn't find any doors out. Jorge knew her? "You said this would be fun," metallic Amanda said. She twisted around, looking over her shoulder as though she was being hunted. "Where are the doors, Jorge? How do you get out? Why did you leave me?" Jorge stared at her, his eyes bulging from his head. He looked as though he was going to be sick. "I'm trying," he whispered, barely audible over the terrified panting. "I got a job here so I could look for you. I can't believe I left you. I'm sorry, Amanda. I'm so sorry." His head dropped to his chest. Then came the part I'd been dreading ever since the figures started appearing. Snaking through the water, the silver mass made its way over to me. I knew who it would be before it even started taking shape. The quarter burned in my pocket, and then there he was, exactly as I remembered him. Edward, 10 years old. Freckles, big glasses, and scabby knees. That's like me. I look, Jen, I've
like
got
you.
big glasses and I've got me some scabby knees. Oh, funny. He looked at me reproachingly. "Why did you do it?" he asked, blood dripping from his silver mouth. I didn't reply. I tried to look at my shoes, but I couldn't plot my ears. "Why did you throw my quarter into the road? I was just teasing you when I said I was better at Gallagher. Why did you get so angry?" I felt a huge pressure well up in my chest. Blood was pounding in my ears and my eyes were filling with tears. "It was the only thing I was good at," Edward continued. "Why couldn't you just let me have that one thing? What kind of big brother are you?" I felt my heart explode. What was that noise? Whoa.
Whoa.
"Yeah, dude." "Edward," I sobbed. "Oh, fucking hell, hang on." I felt my heart explode into a million pieces as 14 years of guilt and sorrow flooded my body. "Edward," I sobbed, "I didn't see the car. I would never have thrown it if I thought you'd get hit. I was just so annoyed. You wouldn't stop telling me how great you were, and I flipped. It was so stupid. I'd give anything to take it back. Anything. I'm so sorry, Edward. I'm so sorry." Silver Edward reached out for me. The ache in my chest was unbearable, and for 1 second, I let go of Jenna's hand and tried to reach for him. Jenna grabbed my hand back, looking at me horrified, but I didn't care. I just wanted to hug my little brother, the little brother I had killed. He melted away before my eyes, but I could have sworn I saw a malicious smirk on his face just before he disappeared below the water. Lady Hannah... Oh, thank God she's back. Lady Hannah's chanting grew louder as the silver pool made its way to Luke. I barely registered the alien-like form that grew and then slipped back under the water, leaving Luke trembling. All I could think about was Edward. The candles began to flicker and a loud, cracking noise from overhead broke me out of my reverie. The glass dome was breaking. "Don't let go," shouted Susie, her hair whipping around her face as the wind started blowing forcefully around the fountain. "It's working!" The silver puddle split again and 8 silver statues climbed jerkily out of the water and stood in front of each of us. Their arms and legs glitched and spasmed as they leaned in until our foreheads were almost touching. I could hear a metallic crunching as though the figure before me were relentlessly grinding its teeth. Glass fell in shards around us, splashing into the pool, slashing at our arms as the wind howled and the lightning flashed. There was one huge clap of thunder, and the candles all blew out. Lady Hannah stopped chanting, and suddenly there was silence. Without anyone moving, the lights in the atrium came on one by one. We all stood, soaked and bleeding, still holding hands. The statues were gone. Susie smiled and told us we were free to go. The mall was cleansed. I looked around at my colleagues, but no one would meet my eye. Everyone looked exhausted, shaken and terribly sad. We filed out to the staff parking lot without so much as a goodbye. I watched each of them drive off, one by one, until I was told I was the only one left. One by one until I was the only one left. Or was I? Over in the furthest corner I could see a white van with an insect logo on it in large letters. I was trying to make it out. Did it say Halliday or Holloway Systems? But before I could figure it out, the temperature in my car dropped. My engine cut out. I could see my breath forming clouds in front of me, illuminated by a distant streetlight. Suddenly, the light went out, and from the back seat I heard the unmistakable sound of metallic grinding. The end.
Wow.
Very nice, Saoirse.
Saoirse, that's so good.
That was very good. Really pulled that all together.
Yeah, it really did.
Well
Yeah,
done,
stunning.
Saoirse. Thank you.
T-shirt coming.
T-shirt coming, please. Drop us an email at ghosthuns.
Yeah, tell us what size you want.
Send us all your
I
details.
absolutely loved rounding that off.
That was lovely, wasn't it? Thank God we're over that.
Yeah, so that's the ending of them all. Are we ready for Creep of the Week? Creep of the Week. Creep of the Week. Creep of the Week. Creep of the Week.
Hi guys, I have loads of stories which I could tell you about. However, today I will just discuss some of the stories I have from my childhood home, which was extremely haunted in North
Carolina.
Dublin, but close.
Oh.
Growing up in that house, we'll make a game out of anything. Growing up in that house was crazy, and looking back now, some of the stories do sound unbelievable, but they are all... Fuck, that was horrible! For reference.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Me and Susie have just heard laughing through the microphone.
Yeah, weird.
I didn't like that at all.
Go on, go on.
Okay. I remember as a child, I had an imaginary friend who I called Little Girl.
Little girl.
Even picturing her now, I can still remember what she looked like. She was small, maybe around 4 years of age. Do you know, I couldn't call a child, I couldn't say what a child's age is, ever. You could give me a child from 0 to 18. I mean, don't give me one, but from 0 to 18, and I would have no idea
I think
how
I'd
old
have
they
a
were.
pretty good...
Would you?
Yeah.
Right, get the kids in. Let's
bring it-
put this to test.
Welcome the kids.
Welcome the children.
Let's play Guess Your Age with no chaperone.
The children that we have in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember she was all white. She wore a white dress, had white hair, and her whole body was a transparent white colour with a bluish tinge. I used to tell my Pam she had to keep a seat at dinner for her and talk to her every day. I don't remember the moment I stopped seeing her, but as I got older, she slowly just disappeared. Me and my siblings were very aware from a young age that our house was haunted. One of the first things that happened was my older brother was in bed one night when he woke up out of the blue and saw a vase, which usually sat on the windowsill, levitating. He began screaming and the whole house woke up. My mum tried to tell him it was a bad dream, but he was adamant about what he saw. My mum told me that when I was a baby, she used to see this shadow man with a top hat in her room at night. She told me that she always got a really bad vibe and felt like he was there for me as he never came until I was a baby. Hang on. She told me that she always got a really bad vibe and felt like he was there for me as he never actually came until I was a baby and was brought into the house. She used to tell him to go away, and that worked in the moment, but he always came back.
Jeez.
As I grew up, he stopped visiting. However, my eldest sister fell pregnant when she was 16 years old. When she had a baby, we'll call him Luke, she said the shadow man started visiting her. Luke's bedroom was in the box room and it looked directly onto the landing. One night, Luke, around age 3, came into my sister's room crying and completely distraught. She asked him what had happened and he said, "The man at the top of the stairs won't stop looking at me." That isn't a dead impression of Luke. I do apologise, Luke.
It would
If
be
that was
more
offensive.
Irish, but we're not going to
The man
do
at the
that.
top of the stairs won't stop looking at me. We're not going to do that. Into it.
The man at the top of the stairs won't stop looking at me, as it.
My sister was terrified, and when she asked Luke what the man looked like, he said, "He has a big black hat and wears a long black coat." To this day, my sister sees the hat man. I think he's attached to her in some way. Would be thrilled about that. There was another occasion where my mum was home all alone and the children were in school and my dad was at work. The house was quiet and she heard my dad's computer chair move upstairs across the wooden floorboards from one end of the room to the other, with nobody home to have possibly pushed it. Many times we would come home after all being out and the TV in the conservatory would be blasting on high volume, even though my mum had always turned the TV off before leaving the house. That was creepy. One night I was in bed with my back facing the door of the bedroom. I got this awful feeling like I was being watched. Just as I was drifting off to sleep, I felt a sharp pain in my back as though someone poked me hard with their finger. I immediately jumped up and turned around in disbelief, but there was nothing there. I have loads of stories from this house. This is only a few of them. We've all since moved out, but I always think about the house and how strange it was. I live in a normal house now, with no ghosts, thank God. And sometimes me and my sister drive by our old house? Our old house! For fuck's sake. As it's not too far from where we live now, and they all have the same white netted curtains in the window that we used to have. We always wonder if the new family that lives there ever experiences anything strange. Thank you for taking the time to read my story. The end!
Oh, stunning.
Sorry, that was disgusting.
That's absolutely fine.
Disgusting.
Thank you for that creep of the week, hun.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
I kind of want to know
Thank
the
you
other
so much.
stories that you have.
Oh, me too. Send in some more if
I
you
do have
them.
one more themed on 100, which is a little shorty.
Go for it.
Shall we? We've got time, haven't we?
Yeah, go for it.
This is called hide and seek.
Oh.
Me and my daughter Libby love to play hide and seek. Well, Libby does, and I love to hear her giggling happily, tearing around the house looking for me. Depending on her mood, I'll make my hidey place easier or harder. This particular evening, we were both in great spirits. Libby had finished her homework on time, helped me with baking some fairy cakes, and she even handed her iPad back to me when she'd completed her 1 hour of screen time. I was so proud of her. "Why don't we play hide and seek, darling? You'll never find me," I teased. "You have to make it super difficult," Libby said, seriously. "I know all your hiding places, Mum." "I've got a new one," I said smugly. "You'll never in a million years guess where." Libby looked thrilled. "You know the drill. Count to 100, then come find me." Libby closed her eyes obediently and started. 1, 2, 3. I kicked my sliders off and tiptoed barefoot away from my beloved daughter. I crept silently up the stairs into my bedroom. I opened my closet door. Libby liked to call this my walk-in wardrobe, but really it was just a large closet. I'd noticed a small door within the closet, for storage I assumed, etched into the back wall. I once pointed it out to Libby and we giggled that Narnia might be beyond. It was a risky hiding spot, but I'm sure my clever girl would remember me pointing it out in our little joke. I'd never explored inside, bar a cursory sweep of my phone torch inside, revealing a dark space and some dust. I'd made a mental note to use it for things like the Christmas tree and some suitcases, but I hadn't got round to it. I found the tiny brass knob and opened the closet within the closet. I grimaced at the dust trails hanging down. I clambered inside and felt around the wooden floor with my hands. 45, 46, 47, echoed Libby's distant voice from downstairs. I curled up and hugged my knees to my chest. I smiled in the darkness. I wondered how long it'd take for the penny to drop. I heard my bedroom door open. I heard footsteps across the room. I heard the closet door open, and I heard Libby sit down on the floor in the wardrobe. I pressed my ear to the mini closet door, right about where my ear was. I heard a light. I smiled. The little devil knew exactly where I went. I know you're in there,
Oh.
whispered a voice I didn't recognise.
I don't like that.
My eyes watered in fear. Then I heard 98, 99,
Oh.
100, ready or not, here I come, from downstairs. I grasped at the inner door handle, but someone was holding the door shut. I banged at it. I threw my entire body at the door and it didn't budge. Then something made me stop still. The voice again. My voice. But it wasn't coming from me. Libby, it sang.
Oh no.
You're cold. Don't ruin it, my daughter's voice shouted from the hallway. I started screaming, crying. I shouted, Libby, run, just run away, out the house, don't look back. I held myself one last time at the mini closet door and I crashed through. I blindly ran through the bedroom to the hallway and then I saw her. Libby, standing there, bewildered, frightened. Mummy? She said. Libby, did you see someone? What do you mean, Mummy? I whirled round. I looked back into my bedroom, the hallway, the bathroom, Libby's room, everywhere. I searched every hidey hole I could imagine. Nothing. No one. I thought perhaps I'd imagined it. I must have. I called the police. They checked the house. Nothing. The two fed-up officers left close to midnight and I let an exhausted Libby sleep next to me that night. I jolted awake at 3:33 a.m. My heart was pounding. Libby was fast asleep, but I'd heard a voice. But from where? I strained to listen in the silence. Libby, you're warm, it whispered. I prayed I was in the middle of a nightmare because what happened next plunged the deepest fear into my soul. My child, my Libby, turned in her sleep and opened her eyes wide, staring at me, and in a voice that wasn't her own, she said, I guess she's found me.
Oh.
Two hands grabbed my daughter's ankles, pulled her, screaming off the bed, across the bedroom, into the closet, and into the mini closet beyond. I ran at it, banging, scratching, but unable to find the brass handle. The door was suddenly gone. It was just a blank wall. I wailed, I prayed, I called the police again. I was sent to hospital. I never saw my darling Libby ever again. No one believes me, but let this be a cautionary tale. Be careful when you play hide and seek, because you never know who might join in on the game.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
Very spooky.
Very spooky.
Very spooky.
Well, those are mine.
Loved that. Loved
Stories.
that. Shall we do a quick tarot? Not quick tarot. Should we do a quick Ouija board?
Oh, we shouldn't we?
Yeah, it's We Get Haunted, so you don't have to. And because it's the 100th episode, we thought it's high time some of the spirits contact us.
Yeah.
So here we go. Right, we're going to do a little, Gonna do a little Ouija. Tim, could we turn the lights down a little bit, please?
We have to do that from in here, don't we?
Oh, do we? I forget it then. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so
Spirits of Spotify, we come in peace.
we come in peace.
Oh my God. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Hello.
Is anyone
Is
there?
anybody out there?
Is there anyone over the age of 100?
Oh! It was me. No, get it back. Quick, before the spirits come through the box.
Jesus Christ. See, you taking the
ready?
piss out of this is why we're
I
getting
just filmed
haunted.
the pantcha over at Suze. Okay. Okay, you
Is
ask
there
the
anyone
question.
there? I'd like to know, is there someone in this building haunting Spotify?
Oh, nothing's happening. Is there anyone there?
Do you know what? And that's just
What is something moving?
99 wild laugh balloons.
Oh, nothing's happening.
Thank you so much, spirits, for ignoring us today. That's what we deserve, actually.
Ah.
But that's been stunning.
Oh no, Sarge, no spirits, but we won't.
No
We won't
spirits.
lie to you, will we?
But guys, thank you so much for joining us. As you well know, The last few tickets are left for Bush Hall Halloween, 31st of October. It's a Thursday night. It's going to end at latest 10:30 p.m.
Yes.
We think 10 p.m, but it
Yeah, 10
may run over because we're all having a lovely time.
You can get your trains home.
But do book your ticket because it's going to be a bonanza.
It's going to be amazing.
It's got special guests, jump scares, stories, us getting pissed a lot. So book your ticket. And as always, if you want to see us do some ghost hunts and extra content, bonus episodes, go to patreon.com/ghost hunts where you can find more content. We love you.
We'll see you next time. Bye.